Hi, I'm Michelle Robinson. I'm a postdoctoral researcher with the Refashioning the Renaissance project. My research looks at the domestic context, so what people are doing at home to take care of their clothes, to make clothes, and to clean their clothes, which is something I'm going to talk a little bit more about in this video, because we just had a 2-day workshop called Dirty Laundry in Renaissance Italy and Denmark, here in the dye kitchen at Aalto University. On day 1, we started with stain removal experiments. So we had 3 different experiments. 2 were from Italian books and 1 was from a Danish text. So we used lemon juice and cream of tartar in 2 separate experiments from the Italian context. And the Danish recipe was using the juice of chanterelle mushrooms to try and remove stains. So we used linen, wool, and silk fabrics in different ways that were stained with ink, red wine, white wine, and olive oil. And some of the recipes worked on some of the fabrics and some of the stains, and some of the recipes didn't work quite so well. So we can see with the example of lemon juice, we have a piece of white linen where actually it's done not too bad of a job getting out the stain of black ink and the stain of red wine. But there were also some chemical reactions that were causing changes. So here we have a piece of linen that was dyed with cochineal, and this is the color that the fabric originally was. And we can see where we've applied the lemon juice, we've taken out the stain, but we've also really drastically changed the color because of the acidity of the lemon reacting with the dye. After we worked on the stain removal recipes, we worked on simple dye recipes and recreated them using really exciting and colorful sort of materials, things like copper sulfate and oak galls. We did 4 recipes, 2 were from Denmark and 2 were from Italy. So from Denmark, we were trying to dye blue in both of our recipes, and we can see that we had really different results and neither of them are blue. So this sort of purpley maroonish color was dyed using bilberries, and this green piece of wool was dyed using elderberries. And both were meant to be blue, not so blue, but we learned a lot in the process and came up with lots of things that we would do differently if we were to do the experiment again, and lots of new questions that really help inform our research in a new and exciting way. On the second day of the workshop, we decided to recreate a recipe for sort of Renaissance potpourri using rose petals, rose water, and lots of other sort of scented materials that were being used for perfuming and making scented objects in the past. And what was really interesting about this recipe was that it had one option that would have been very expensive to make, and an option you could do at less expense, but your clothes would still smell like those of a great lord if you put this little packet in your linen chest. While we were mixing up our concoction, at first we thought it smelled quite nice when it was just 1 or 2 ingredients, but as we added more and more of the ingredients to the pot, we started to think that it wasn't smelling so good, and had some really interesting discussion about, well, what smells good to us might not have smelled good to people in the past, and vice versa, where we don't know what a good smell or what the smell of a lord was in the past. So this recipe really sparked some interesting discussions about the aesthetics of smell and taste and the senses. So even though we weren't really excited about the smell when we were mixing the pot and put everything together, once we sprinkled it over the dried rose petals, they absorbed a little bit, and we put them into our linen bags that we sewed up, the smell started to sort of change and was dispersed through the petals. So actually, to us, it started to smell a little bit nicer and, I think, quite fresh and summery. So we had an action-packed 2 days, and we were really lucky to have all the members of the Refashioning the Renaissance team here, as well as 2 of our advisory board members that brought different kinds of knowledge and different kinds of questions to the workshop and took away different things with them. So new questions to investigate, a new desire to try these recipes again, and really a new perspective on fashion in the Renaissance and the kinds of things that people might have done at home to freshen up their clothes in terms of smell or color, or to get stains out and make them look clean and presentable and fashionable.